Hello, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my travel tips video for you. I've been doing a lot of travelling recently over the last few years, mostly to Europe, and I thought I would give you a video as to kind of my travel tips on keeping your kind of travel basically as low cost as possible. These tips I've got over the last few years and I feel like they've helped me loads, and I wanted to kind of give you some tips in order to get the best out of your holiday. So the first one would be is to use hostels. Now I know a lot of people have kind of really bad doubts about hostels, and the first image you get is basically shared accommodation. What I normally do with hostels is I use a website called hostelbookers.com, and I will book a single room. This basically means that my bedroom will be my bedroom. There won't be anybody else in there. There won't be any kind of sharing or anything like that. But you will have to share the kitchen, the living room and the bathroom. I find that this is always a fraction of the cost that you will pay for a hotel. Normally a hotel would be about £70, whereas a hostel would be £20 to £30. So you are making a great saving if you do book a private room in a hostel rather than going for a hotel. So that would be my first tip for you. My second tip would be kind of travel. I tend to go and compare kind of flight airlines and stuff like that to wherever I'm going to, and I will compare all the flights, and then the cheaper airline companies I tend to select the cheaper few and then actually go onto their website in order to make my kind of booking. The top three that I normally use is Ryanair, Finnair and Norwegian airline company. I find that those three are the best kind of ones to go for if you want cheap flights. I would normally, if I'm going kind of travelling, I would book a evening flight because they do tend to be cheaper, and also if you want to kind of get the best flight, they do a selection of 3 days or more or 3 days less. Go onto those selections, don't just pick a date and then go for that date, because you may be paying £800 whereas the day before was only £400. So normally make kind of a bigger selection if you're doing with flights. Also, if you're doing any UK travelling or anything like that, I normally tend to use National Express. These have really cheap kind of ways of getting to places. I recently found out that you can also get to kind of Paris and Amsterdam as well using National Express, and that's only £40, whereas other kind of flights or kind of trains and things like that are around the £70 mark or the £100 mark. So with National Express you're actually only spending £40, so it's worth checking the National Express out and also cheaper kind of airline companies. My next tip for you is to research the country as much as you can. Whenever I'm going travelling, I tend to have kind of like a little goal where I have, if I'm spending 7 days there, I will have 2 free days in the city, which basically means I'll only take out €10 with me or $10 with me, and I will then have the rest of the day only doing kind of the free attractions that they have, so the museums, the parks and things like that. So if I get that kind of the 2 days in, I basically made a great saving on my holiday, and I tend to have a little bit more money left over at the end of it to kind of spend on shopping and things like that. So it's always good to kind of aim to have 2 free days when you're going on holiday. If you can't do it, then that's absolutely fine, but just kind of research the country, get to know it a bit better, find out if it's an expensive country or a really cheap country, and then work on that. Don't just kind of go on holiday not knowing what to expect at all, basically. Next up is to pack light and only take what you what you need, basically. I've gone on holiday in the past where I've absolutely jam-packed my suitcase with loads of items, and then when I've gone on holiday I found that I've only used kind of half of them. So it's really a waste if you're going on holiday with a really full suitcase and you can't buy anything when you're there, or you get to the airline and you realise your suitcase is over the limit and stuff like that. So it's only to take what you actually need on holiday with you. Also to wear comfy shoes as well. I've made the mistake of only taking 1 pair of shoes, and I found they're rubbed halfway through kind of walking around, and if you're in a new city or you get lost at all, you may do a lot of walking, so do take really comfy shoes with you. Next up is my next tip. It would be pop-up maps. I normally take up with me little tiny pop-up maps that are kind of more tourist friendly than the really large oversized maps. If you're in the middle of a street with a lot of busy people around you, to get out one of the really oversized maps would be a really kind of dangerous and as well as a really annoying thing to do. So I take little pop-out maps and I just simply fold it out whenever I need to find a street that I need, or an attraction that I need, I have that there with me in a really nice, small, compact kind of way. So that would be my next tip. And I think that is it for my travel tips. If I do have anything extra, I will leave it below in the down bar. But I do hope this has helped some people out, and it's given you a few little kind of hints and tips on how to travel. But I will see you next time. If you do like this video, then do give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Bye!